come to listen to the grievances from the PDP, and then we'll continue shuttling to see how we can make sure that this peace is maintained.
National Peace Committee sues for peace meets PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar on outcome of election.
My last lap of 4 years, I think it's going to be tough.
With more congratulatory messages pouring in for President Muhammadu Buhari from world leaders and Nigerians, he rededicates himself to national development without sentiment.
APC is a party of discipline. It's not a party that has different rules for different members. Every member is equal.
2 governors suspended and 1 queried by National Working Committee of APC for anti-party activities.
We gave them the highest level of sanctioning possible under the NBC.
National Broadcasting Commission clamps down on 45 media outfits nationwide for violation of political broadcast code. Good evening and welcome to NTA Network News. I am Jumwa Yusuf in Abuja. Also reading with me tonight from our Lagos Network Center is Jennifer Igwe, while Naomi Apogo is in Maiduguri. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has granted audience to the National Peace Committee following concerns raised by the People's Democratic Party and its candidate Atiku Abubakar over the outcome of the just concluded presidential elections. State House correspondent Adam Musambo reports that the committee, chaired by former head of state General Abdulsalami Abubakar, had earlier engaged the major opposition party.
Long before the cast of the first ballot in the 2019 elections, 2 separate peace accords were signed by the various political parties and their candidates under the auspices of the National Peace Committee. The overriding objective was not only to keep the peace before, during and after the elections, but also accept the will of the nation's voting populace. However, no sooner had the results of the presidential election declared by INEC, the major opposition party, the PDP, went public, rejecting it despite being adjudged free, fair, and credible by both international and domestic observers. For the governing APC, which won the elections, and many other concerned Nigerians, the PDP's action was a violation of the peace accord. And this perhaps informed the decision by the National Peace Committee to intervene. President Muhammadu Buhari met the committee members, led by General Abdulsalami Abubakar, behind closed doors. Details of their interaction, which lasted about 45 minutes, were not made public. General Abdulsalami Abubakar, however, told newsmen that members of the committee had engaged the PDP candidate Atiku Abubakar and listened to his party's reservations.
He presented his grievances and his observation. He did not give condition, he gave his complaints, which we have come to discuss with Mr. President and to see what can be done.
The committee did not say whether or not it is making any headway in its mediatory role and what it planned to do next. But the chairman, Abdulsalami Abubakar, insists that there is no alternative to peace in the country.
We need peace. This country is very, very important to all of us. We are not talking about self-interest. We are talking about the interests of the country. I keep saying, wherever there is violence, let's say you will not find violence in Ikoyi, you will not find violence in Aso Rock, in the Villa, you will not find violence in the various government houses across the country. It is always the poor man that gets involved, killing themselves and so on. So please, yes, as much as we have grievances, I'm glad that the PDP are saying they are going to court to challenge this process. I think this is the right way to go about it. And I hope and I pray that we'll maintain this peace.
The National Peace Committee was established before the 2015 elections. From the State House, Adam Musambo, NTA News.
In another development, Chairman of the National Peace Committee, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, and other members of the committee have met with the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The meeting held behind closed doors was convened following Atiku's decision to challenge the outcome of the February 23, 2019 presidential election in court. General Abdulsalami Abubakar, shortly after the meeting, said there was the need to interface with all the relevant players and stakeholders involved in the election towards ensuring that there is no post-election disagreements.
The Peace Committee is always interested in ensuring that there is peace in the country. Apparently now tensions are high and we need to see how we can douse the situation. We have come to listen to the grievances from the PDP, and then we'll continue shuttling to see how we can make sure that this peace is maintained.
The PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar complained of irregularities during the conduct of the presidential election. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the United States of America has congratulated President Muhammadu Buhari on his re-election for another term of 4 years. This is contained in a statement from the U.S. Secretary of State Michael Pompeo. Details with Musa Baba Aliu.
United States Secretary of State Michael Pompeo says the U.S. notes the assessment of the international and domestic observer missions, affirming the overall credibility of Nigeria's presidential election, in which President Muhammadu Buhari was declared winner. Pompeo, in a statement, says the United States remains committed to working with Nigeria to achieve greater peace and prosperity for both nations. The Secretary of State also congratulates all other candidates for their peaceful participation in the electoral process, appealing to all Nigerians to ensure successful state elections next week. Nigeria and the United States have a bilateral trade and investment framework agreement which attracts more than $9 billion. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
As more congratulatory messages pour in, the United Kingdom Prime Minister Theresa May and Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan has congratulated President Muhammadu Buhari on his re-election. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity indicates that the UK and Turkey leaders extended their good wishes to President Buhari and the Nigerian people through separate telephone calls. The statement adds that President Buhari thanked the two leaders for their unflinching support to Nigeria, pledging commitment to continue working with them to advance various areas of cooperation. And I have in the studio with me Dr. Mukhtar Imam, lecturer, international relations and based University Abuja, to speak more on the world leaders' consensus on the election results. You must have been tracking so many reactions trailing the just concluded presidential election by the world leaders. What does it depict? As I welcome you to the studio, what's your take on that?
Thank you very much for having me. First of all, it's very important that we note that diplomacy today is a very essential tool as far as relations among actors within the international system is concerned. The messages that have been turning in respect to the congratulatory messages to the president on his re-election is not unexpected. We saw a couple of months before the election the shuttling of world leaders into Nigeria. It was an indicator, it was a clear sign that the man at the helm of affairs, who incidentally is going to go on for the next 4 years, was seen or perceived within the international system as a statesman, as a man with integrity, impeccable character. These are all driving factors and indicators to what we have seen now. It's just the re-echoing or reiteratement of what we have seen in the past. As a matter of fact, what these world leaders from Uhuru Kenyatta, from the consensus in African Union, to Russia, to the United States, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia, what they have shown by these messages they have basically aired is to say that they align themselves with the position of local and international observers as far as our electoral process and the outcome of that process is concerned. to say that Nigeria is evolving into an important and strategic nation, which it has always been within the international system. And it's basically a pointer to the direction that Nigeria and Nigerians are going to finally find their place within the Committee of Nations. It's a commendable thing. It's something that we should pride ourselves for. Countries around the world do not deal with countries where leaders have questionable characters. We see the back and forth going on with countries within the international system, Venezuela, to mention a few, with the United States. So basically, this is a welcome development. And like I said in the beginning, it is not unexpected, given the persona of the president.
You know, somebody once said, if Nigeria catches cold, the whole continent will sneeze.
Of course.
So what's your reaction with the consensus of congratulatory messages coming in? What is your, your take on the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar rejecting the results of the 2019 elections?
Well, first off, Nigeria, like you rightly mentioned, is anybody who speaks about Africa has to talk about Nigeria. Exactly. Nigeria is one of the most important countries around the world. 1 out of every 4 Africans is a Nigerian. That's how far it has gone. This is a strategic nation blessed with human and mineral resources. And so, yes, of course, the attention of the international community beams on Nigeria. That is in no doubt. Nigeria is a strategic partner to these countries. As far as the opposition is concerned, well, in every democratic process, like we've had in ours, in every human or social activity, there must be issues. And of course, Nigeria has had its fair share of it in the past, and we're seeing it playing itself out again. There must be winners and losers in every contest.
So with so much accolades coming in from the world leaders on successful presidential elections, how can we build on this to strengthen the economy? The democracy we have now. 20 years of democracy. Well, we're still moving forward.
You see, one of the basic reasons that have helped to avert the Third World War is the growing interdependence among nation states. Nigeria cannot be in isolation. We must relate amongst countries bilaterally, multilaterally, however you look at it. So I think that the president can actually take this a step further. These accolades have come in. This is as a result of, like I said, his impeccable character, his drive, his vision. These leaders have applauded the president countless times. And so what we expect as Nigerians is that at this point we should pick up the pieces and move ourselves to that stage where we will be respected within the international community. The president has exhibited that, and I am very hopeful that he will take us to the next level.
And on that note, I thank you so much for coming on NTA Network News.
Thank you for having me.
Very incisive discussion. I have been speaking with Dr. Mukhtar Imam, a lecturer in international relations and diplomacy based University Abuja. We've been talking about the 2019 presidential elections. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has confirmed that he will neither be gentle nor sentimental in his execution of a renewed mandate aimed at taking Nigeria to the next level. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president gave the hint while receiving members of the Federal Executive Council and the leadership of the nation's public service on a congratulatory visit.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, who led the ministers and leadership of the public service on the visit, told the president that the renewal of his mandate by majority of the votes cast was not only well-deserved, but indeed a referendum on honesty, integrity, uprightness, and sincerity.
Your Excellency, the change you promised 4 years ago to put Nigeria economy on a sustainable development path, restore security of lives and property, and to fight corruption has laid the firm foundation for growth. Your commitment, dedication, and purposeful leadership has indeed become the springboard that has taken us to the next level.
The SGF expressed their conviction that the president's re-election will deepen ongoing reforms aimed at delivering good governance and effective service delivery to Nigerians.
The public service totally aligns itself with millions of Nigerians that have re-elected you. We pledge our loyalty to Your Excellency and support to the government and assure you that we shall facilitate the creation of an enabling environment for sustainable development of our nation. Indeed, our best years are still ahead of us as a nation. We salute your courage, firmness, and fairness.
The ministers and the leadership of the public service prayed God to increase the president's wisdom and endow him with good health so that the frontiers of fulfilling his promises will be expanded. For President Muhammadu Buhari, the victory of the governing APC is a victory for all Nigerians yearning for a sustainable future. And this, he said, is what the next level is all about.
My last lap of 4 years, I think it's going to be tough.
Tough, the president said, but did not elaborate further. However, at several other fora, the Nigerian leader has been emphatic that there will neither be any compromise nor sacred cows in the task of dismantling all obstacles to national development. The fight against corruption and insecurity, he promised, will be intensified and the economy profoundly enhanced for job creation and genuine prosperity of the country. President Buhari gives reasons why he had to visit all the states of the Federation and the FCT during the vote-seeking drive.
To prove to the other side that I am fit. And secondly, not to allow anybody to feel that any state has been left out. So I thank God that He gave me the strength and the health to see through my plan. And I think it is appreciated by the silence from the other side.
The president also received several other Nigerians from all walks of life on similar congratulatory visits.
Whatever the people of Borno State did for President Muhammadu Buhari, we are only saying thank you for what he has done.
There is nothing unusual about the opposition's rejection of the success. If you ask me, I will tell you that I'm not even so pleased with the votes that come from my state, because I believe we can do much more.
The second-term mandate for the governing APC begins on May 29, 2019. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed formal appreciation to the people of Kano State for sustaining their trust and confidence in him since joining partisan politics in 2003. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president stated this while granting audience to stakeholders from the state led by Senator Kabiru Ibrahim Gaya.
Aware of the genuine support I'm getting from Kano. I'm lucky to have such a politically dynamic constituency to consistently support me. It's a big morale booster, and I thank you, and please pass my gratitude to your constituencies.
The president promised to continue to do his best towards addressing genuine public aspirations in the overall interest of the country. Leader of the delegation and chairman Senate Committee on Works, Senator Kabiru Gaya, formally congratulated the president on his victory at the polls and appreciated him for the enhanced federal government presence in Kano.
We believe your constituency is Kano, and you have said it yourself. You have done so much for us, and we're proud of you as a father. We're proud of you as a leader. Has performed extremely well, more than any president that we have seen in this country. You have made the life of Kano people better.
The Christian Association of Nigeria has congratulated President Muhammadu Buhari, Vice President Oshibajo, and the APC and the entire country over the victory at the polls. In a statement signed by CAN President, His Eminence Dr. Samson Olasupo Ayonkole, on behalf of all Nigerians who practice Christianity, the association believes in the will of God and peaceful coexistence. CAN therefore urges the president to carry every Nigerian along in making the country great in all sectors. The members of the Forum of Presidential Candidates congratulates President Muhammadu Buhari on the victory of his re-election to steer the affairs of the country. A statement signed by the chairman, Presidential Forum, Shitu Mohammed Kabir, says victory is a call to promote favorable atmosphere for Nigerians to experience positive turnout in economic and infrastructural development and also to regain dignity in the eyes of the world. The group prayed for divine strength and wisdom and for the president. And also, Governor Mohammed Abubakar of Bauchi State has called on the People's Democratic Party and its presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, to concede defeat in the interest of nation building. Mahmoud Ibn Muhammad reports.
Governor Muhammad Abubakar, who described President Muhammadu Buhari's victory as a vote of confidence in the change agenda of the All Progressives Congress, noted that the election confirms that both President Muhammadu Buhari and indeed the nation are on the right track.
The election was very, very good. We could have hoped for a better turnout, but that notwithstanding, what we have given to Mr. President has helped in ensuring his victory. I am very, very happy, and I thank the good people of Bauchi State for what they have done.
He therefore assured the president of the unalloyed loyalty of the government and people of Bauchi State. In Bauchi, Mahmoud Ibn Muhammad, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the national president of Nigerian Association of Road Transport Workers, NATO, Dr. Kasim Bataya, has employed Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party to concede defeat in the best interest of peace and stability of the country and not encourage acts that will threaten the unity of the nation. Dr. Bataya said this in a congratulatory statement to President Muhammadu Buhari on his recent victory at the just concluded presidential elections. He expressed the belief that President Buhari will consolidate on his achievements and steer Nigeria on the path of progress, growth and national development. We now go for our first break. The news returns shortly. Stay with us.
He is Anthony Joshua.
Inner strength? Yeah, that comes from the hard knocks that life throws at us. And we Nigerians, we know all about that.
Oh, a deadly right.
We don't stay down, we get up and fight. Sure, it's about speed, technique, quality of the punches, reach. But the real fight is with myself.
It's the power, but it's the speed as well.
But I can't carry this heavyweight title by myself. There's always got to be someone in my corner. And that's why I believe in Glow. We have that same tenacity, that Nigerian fighting spirit that makes us game changers. You have to dig deep to be a world champion. Yeah, we Nigerians, yeah, we know all about that.
What a fight!
Glow, our halo.
Heavyweight champion of the world!
The Office of the Director General of Lalong Tioden Campaign Organization warmly invites all to the fundraising dinner of the re-election of Right Honorable Simon Bako Lalong as Governor and Professor Sonny G. Tioden as Deputy Governor of Plateau State. Date 2nd March 2019. Time 7 p.m. Venue Zumji Center,
Sabon Bariki,
Bukuru Jos Expressway. Chairman
Dakas,
CJ Dakas. Chief Host, Honorable Latif Dabang, APC Chairman, Plateau State.
Architect Pam Donggyang, Announcer.
My name Nadumo Lulu Briggs and I be River speaking. Make una vote for me for this election of 2019. When I become una governor, na steady progress I go bring. Life go be jolly jolly and peace go dey brekete for everywhere. I want man go run River State like say now you person or something. Only big talk and failure we dey see since 2015. But when I become una governor, our people go live like it. My people wipe una eye. No worry God if they do more they come. So vote for Dumo Lulu Briggs. Rivers people make una vote una song. Chief Barrister Dumo Lulu Briggs. God if they do more they come. I say vote for Dumo Lulu Briggs. Rivers people make una vote una song. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. God if they do more they come.
Vote Dumo Lulu Briggs. Vote Accord. Oneness and progress.
You are watching NTA Network News, reaching you live from Abuja. Now, the National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress has suspended the chairman of Progressive Governors and Governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, and his counterpart in Ogun State, Ibukule Amosun. Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State has, however, been queried. Instead, National Publicity Secretary of the party, Larry Issa Onyilo, says the two governors were suspended for anti-party activities and unholy conduct by their supporters during campaigns before the presidential and National Assembly elections. He said a committee is underway to look into their suspension that equally suggested their expulsion from the party to the party's National Executive Committee.
APC is a party of discipline. It's not a party that has different rules for different members. Every member is equal. Every member is a subject of the constitution of the party. Something that came to us as a shock when the president was in Ogun State, for instance, for campaign, and the people led by the governor of Ogun State, His Excellency Ibukule Amosun, did what they did, at the ground there, which for us was beyond the limit. It's not something you would expect any member of the party who says he's a true member of APC would do to our president. Immediately after the presidential election, the governor of Imo State, His Excellency Rochas Okorocha, and the governor of Ogun State, His Excellency Ibukule Amosun, have both come out publicly that they are backing some other candidates in some other party. That certainly is not what the constitution of our party emphasized. NWC has also decided to query the governor of Ondo State. We have video evidence of his anti-party activities sequel to the last election. The party is looking closely at all the activities going on in those areas. Any member of our party that is involved will be treated in similar manner. No sacred cow.
The two suspended governors were elected senators on the party's platform in the February 23rd polls and are now working against the APC ahead of the March 9 governorship and state assembly elections. As Nigerians and the international community continue to discuss the successes and challenges of the just concluded National Assembly elections, guests on Good Morning Nigeria say the nation has again shown that the democratic culture is deepening. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria, however, say there are lessons to be learned to enhance subsequent elections. Alika Okpanachi Arua has details.
The Independent National Electoral Commission has been given a pass mark on the peaceful conduct of the 2019 Presidential and National Assembly elections, which saw the re-election of President Buhari and members of the National Assembly. For the Minister of Information and Culture, the outcome of the election was another testimony to the wide acceptance of the APC and President Muhammadu Buhari.
The Saturday's election will probably go down in the history of the country as one of the fairest and most credible, given the attention to details, given the adequate security provided throughout the country.
Others also agree the election was largely fair, but there is need to look at areas where there were challenges.
I think there are actually lessons to learn from the organization, the processes of in the 2019 elections.
I must confess once again that we had issues, and as I'm talking to you now, we are looking into those issues, and by the time the next set of elections come on the 9th of March, we are going to see a different conduct of the election.
A good name is better than riches. So in spite of the temptations, people must strive to maintain goodness, because that is what has given it to Mr. President.
They commended Nigerians for their contribution towards a successful outcome and also appealed to the opposition parties to join hands with the government to move the country forward. In Abuja, Alika Okpanachi, Arua, NTN.
And the National Broadcasting Commission says it will not hesitate to revoke the broadcast license of any media outfit that violates the broadcast code in Nigeria. Director General of the Commission, Ishak Modibo Kawu, gave the warning when he made public the sanctions of 45 media organizations by the NBC in Abuja. Adebola Broxlin Sunday reports.
The National Broadcasting Commission has been engaging media organizations to tailor their political programs in compliance with provision of the code and extant laws relating to broadcasting ahead of the 2019 general elections.
We monitored all the broadcasts in every single radio and television.
Isaac Modibo Kawu said the commission had set up a national monitoring committee to track violators, and 45 establishments were found culpable.
We gave them the highest level of sanctioning possible under the NBC, which is to make them to pay $500,000 naira. Every single station, 45 of them, and they cut across the entire Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Commission also sanctioned stations that allowed politicians to make abusive, inciting, and provocative statements during rallies. And this has happened on several radio and television stations.
The DG said broadcasters are expected to be professional to guide their electorates make informed choices.
If our licensees commit the kind of infraction that make us to make them pay the highest amount of fine, then we'll take the next step. We will not reduce hours of broadcast. We will actually go there and close down the stations. That's just the way it's going to be.
He reminded all licensees of the agreement signed not to cause infraction in the country. Adebola, Brookslyn Sunday, NTA News.
Thank you, Adebola. Now, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has concluded arrangements to conduct supplementary elections on the 9th of March in some areas where National Assembly elections were not concluded nor returns made. The supplementary elections will be conducted along with the governorship, State House of Assembly and the FCT Area Council elections. A statement signed by the INEC National Commissioner, Information and Voter Education, Festus Okoye, after a meeting by the INEC chairman with resident electoral commissioners, promised to meet with the acting Inspector General of Police on the conduct of some security personnel, which led to the harassment of INEC ad hoc staff and other officials. The meeting considered last week Saturday's election as generally peaceful as it met the required standards. Now, Jennifer is in Lagos. She has the next set of reports on Network News. Hello, Jennifer.
Good evening and a warm welcome to Lagos. The International Organization for Migration is proposing more interventions targeted at solving challenges encountered by communities while creating employment opportunity for returning migrants. With the return of another batch of over 300 voluntary returnees from Libya, the critical question is how they will be absorbed into the system. Michael Olaleye reports that the returnees were received by the officials of the National Emergency Management Agency.
This aircraft with registration number 58DMG has 143 Nigerians on board. They are part of the 326 returnees from Libya who could no longer bear the burden of living in pains. While they bask in the euphoria of their newfound freedom, 26-year-old Sonny Oko is still agitated on how his entire 4 years in Libya was spent in jail.
The same line, they also caught me, they locked me at room. I said I should control my family so that they can pay money for me.
Precious Happy's predicament is worrisome.
I bought Peking for Libya. I bought Peking. Say not my Peking, so na sense Arabu.
While these pains linger, concerned agencies are increasingly worried about how to totally discourage aimless sojourn in the name of greener pasture.
They should not cross the Sahara Desert with all the attendant risks, hazards, and dehumanizing conditions attached to such movements.
What we are doing is to go after the traffickers, get them, prosecute them, and make a statement to the society that human trafficking is evil.
The International Organization for Migration said 12,300 Nigerians have voluntarily returned to the country since the repatriation began in 2017.
More than 7,000 returnees are already accessing different forms of reintegration.
At present, Nigeria has 3 migrant resource centers that offer information to prospective travelers so as not to be victims of pain, like Sunny. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NT News.
To judicial matters, the president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Paul Usoro, pleaded not guilty to a 10-count charge of 1.4 billion naira money laundering preferred against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. He was rearranged before Justice Mohammed Akawa of the Federal High Court, Lagos. Vera Chimuba reports that the court also issued a bench warrant for the arrest of Akwa Ibom State government officials named in the charge.
NBA President Paul Usoro had pleaded not guilty before Justice Hassan and was granted bail. Justice Chuka Obiozo had declined to hear the case on personal reasons before the case was reassigned to Justice Aikawa. When the charge was read to Usoro, he pleaded not guilty to all counts. Counsel to Usoro, Ifedayo Adedipe, made oral application for his client to continue on the existing bail terms earlier granted by Justice Hassan. The bail terms earlier granted by the court was adopted. Justice Aikawa, however, added that where the surety is a civil servant, his credentials must be verified by the court's registry. The Akwa Ibom State Commissioners affected by the bench warrant are that of Finance, Nsekan Nkan, Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Wedimomo Nwoko, Accountant General Mfon Udoma and Margaret Ukbe. EFCC Counsel Rotimi Uyedapo made an application for bench warrant and urged the court to compel the appearance of Akwa Ibom State government officials following the inability of the commission to produce them as they were said to be at large. He contended that the Administration of Criminal Justice Act empowers the court to compel appearance of suspects by a summon or warrant. The defense counsel Adedipe opposed the application on the ground that such can only be done when the suspects have been charged before the court. Justice Aikawa, however, granted the application and fixed 18th of March for trial. In Lagos, Viera Chumuba, NTA News.
This is still NTA Network News. More reports ahead with Jumai in Abuja after this break. Stay with us.
Data. We can't live without it. Share it. Impress with it. Borrow it. Sell with it.
Up here, calm down, breathe.
Celebrate with it. Breathe easy, knowing that with Glow, data is oxygen.
All TVs say picture quality, but never mention the most important color, black. It uncovers the hidden details of nature, brings out the richness in all colors, and reveals life. With self-lighting pixels, only OLED TVs make perfect black, and perfect black creates perfect color. LG OLED TV.
From our wonderful family, meet Patty for celebrating the high points of life with friends. And then there's me, Jolly, bringing nourishment to every gathering. Packed with healthy nutrition, nourishing vitamins, power of protein, strength of calcium, revitalizing energy. Hollandia yogurt is bursting with goodness inside and out. Hollandia yogurt, it's all good.
I thought leaving the country was the best decision for me and my future.
I left for a better life.
We were picked up by immigration officials and sent to a detention camp.
I spent 8 months
in the detention camp.
There was no food, no water.
I saw people being beaten like animals.
For staying with NTA Network News. Now, the United Christian Clerics for Peace has enjoined all faithful to shun the call by some Christian leaders who have compromised their calling for money through mischievous speeches against President Muhammadu Buhari's second-term re-election. The group made the call at a media briefing in Abuja, maintaining that the presidential election is a clear statement that Nigerians are on board with the policies and programs of the APC-led administration.
Your Excellency, you were the first Democrat to unseat an incumbent president. You are also the first again to face the gang-up of Nigerian elites and money bags in election contests, yet you defeated them and emerged winner in the most free and fair election in Nigeria.
Akim Dairo reports that the group appealed to President Buhari to sustain the fight against corruption, improve the economy, and ongoing efforts towards making Nigeria a secured country for all.
Furthermore, we appeal to President Muhammadu Buhari to use his large heart with the slogan, "No winner, no vanquish," to carry all Nigerians along, irrespective of their extra mile. Many of them went in quest for power that nearly set Nigeria on fire. Elections are over. Let us build Nigeria of our dreams together.
More groups celebrate President Muhammadu Buhari's victory at the polls. Details of this from Naomi in Maiduguri. Helen Yomi.
Welcome to Maiduguri. The declaration of President Muhammadu Buhari as winner of the 2019 presidential election by INEC has ignited highly spirited jubilations across the country. Borno State is not an exception, as virtually all APC campaign organizations, fora, and coalitions across the local government areas converge on the palace of the Shehu of Borno to celebrate the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari. Jedwa John Jesseny reports.
Members of All Progressive Congress within and outside the metropolis, alongside supporters of President Muhammadu Buhari and that of Governor Kashim Shettima, came together to celebrate the victory of their candidates. Led by their various coordinators, the supporters paid courtesy call on the Shehu of Borno, Abubakar Ibn Umar Galbay El-Kenemi. Ali Babagana, who spoke on behalf of the APC members and supporters, said their visit was to seek the blessings of the royal father. He further expressed their determinations to ensure that the APC wins in the forthcoming elections. Shehu of Borno, Abubakar Ibn Umar Galbay El-Kenemi, lauded the youth for the orderly conduct during the just concluded elections, urging them to do same in the forthcoming elections. He further assured them of his support and advised the incoming government to create job opportunities and social empowerment for the youths. There was a mini rally amidst cheers by fans and supporters. In Maiduguri, Jedwa John Jesseny, NTA News.
Borno State Police Command has presented relief items to police widows and personnel wounded in the fight against insurgency. The presentation was held at the Police Command headquarters in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. Maimuna Garba reports.
The gesture by the Borno State Police Command in partnership with Complete Care Foundation was to support police widows, wounded personnel, and those who cannot cater for themselves to enable them have a sense of belonging and extend the command's care for them. Commissioner of Police Borno State Damian Chuku said the benevolence became necessary, stressing that over 400 personnel of the command lost their lives due to the insurgency and their families are still residing in Maiduguri.
We're giving them these things in batches. Today we've been able to distribute some of the food items to the first batch of 100 widows.
Some of the beneficiaries commended the initiative as it will go a long way supporting their families having lost their breadwinners. The gesture, according to the police, will be a continuous one. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
That is it from Maiduguri. Network News continues after this timeout.
So much, Naomi. Chinese President Xi Jinping on Friday extended heartfelt congratulations to President Muhammadu Buhari on his decisive win in the February 23rd presidential elections in Nigeria. In his congratulatory message, President Xi said, though joint efforts with President Buhari, Nigeria and China in recent years have significantly enhanced political mutual trust and secured fruitful outcomes in practical cooperation, which have delivered tangible benefits to both countries. Moving on, the governors of Yobe and Kano State are congratulating the president, the vice president and the entire APC family for recording massive success at the polls. Mamso Damian Datti, who has put together some reactions from across the country, now reports.
Governor Ibrahim Gaidam of Yobe State has extended his accolades to President Buhari and his Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, describing their victory as an expression of the trust and confidence of Nigerians in their ability to take the country to the next level. From Kano State, Ali Adamu reports that it's been a beehive of celebrations everywhere, especially at the government house, where APC supporters have joined Governor Ganduje to celebrate Mr. President's victory, which he said is victory for the entire party and democracy.
Mr. President, the highest votes in Nigeria.
Achibong Basi in Calabar reports that stakeholders in the state who rejoice with Mr. President and his Vice President said his preference by Nigerians signify integrity, real values and optimism for better years ahead.
Integrity and convenience, and I think they have opted for the path of character. With character, we'll be able to entrench new values.
He has gone ahead to enjoy the support of a wider range of Nigerians.
President, in this new and emerging dispensation, as the one who can lead us to the next level.
Meanwhile, the Senate Majority Leader, Ahmed Lawan, who is returning to the National Assembly for the fourth time, has also described Buhari's victory as a success for progressive leadership, as the APC will be retaining majority seats in the National Assembly. They all commiserate with the families of those who lost their lives during the elections. In Abuja, Momso Damian Datti, NTA News.
And away from politics, if Nigeria must achieve Vision 90-90-90 of ending HIV/AIDS in 2030, efforts must be intensified at eliminating stigmatization in the country. This came strongly as Nigeria joins the world to celebrate the International Day of Zero Discrimination. Basi Ita Ekpan spoke with some persons living with HIV and who have overcome stigmatization and moved on with their lives.
If young people like me cannot have access to education, so where are we? Where are we in the society?
Right from our school days, Gloria was stigmatized, but with group support and determination, she has been able to achieve her dream in life and now a source of encouragement to many other people in the society. And this is the reason for the annual celebration for governments to examine discriminatory provisions, existing laws and policies, and to make positive changes to ensure quality inclusion and protection.
It's an offense in Nigeria to discriminate against people that have HIV because we have HIV Anti-Discrimination Act.
But today we are saying that it is important that we get to zero when it comes to discrimination.
The National Agency for Control of AIDS, in a message to mark the day, promised to continue to advocate for the protection of Nigerians against HIV-related discrimination. Other advocates blame the issue of stigmatization on ignorance.
There is a lot to do. Faith-based organization, either Muslims or Christians, we have to galvanize ourselves to advocate in the rural community.
The day is also used to celebrate all health care providers who offer stigma-free services and promote best practices in healthcare centers. Basi Taikpan, NTA News.
This is Network News. More reports shortly.
Mass Medical Mission has finally done it, ensuring that the prevention of cancer and cancer-related ailments is available to you right where you are. Our mobile cancer center, also known as Pink Cruise, is equipped with relevant state-of-the-art medical equipment to serve you wherever you are. All you have to do is apply for the Pink Cruise to come to your community or organization by sending a request to info@pinkcruise.org. Remember to suggest 3 alternative dates when you will prefer the Pink Cruise to come to conduct free preventive healthcare at your doorstep, including checking your body, your eyes, and your teeth. For more information on the Pink Cruise and how to take advantage of it, please log on to www.pinkcruise.org or visit us at the MMM House, number 31 Abode Thomas Street, Surulere, Lagos, or call 0805-633-4288. Mission Pink Cruise, taking wellness to all.
Welcome back. Super Falcons of Nigeria record first victory in Cyprus, with Nigeria's basketball team placed in tough group at FIBA 3x3 World Cup qualifier in Puerto Rico. Let's join Amaze Marcos for details on Sports Update.
Nigeria Super Falcons defeated Slovakia 4-3 in their second group game. Ongoing International Women's Cyprus Cup on Friday. A brace from Rita Chikwelu and a goal each from Osinachi Ohale and Anam Imo gave the African champions the deserved win. Nigeria will next play Belgium in their third group game on Monday. After failing to qualify straight from the African qualifying series, Nigeria's national 3x3 basketball team now have a second opportunity to qualify for the FIBA 3x3 World Cup 2019 in Amsterdam, Netherlands from June 18 to 23. Nigeria, currently ranked 10 in Africa and 76th in the world, has been grouped alongside France, Germany, and Italy in Group A of the second qualification series, holding May 4 to 5 in San Juan, Puerto Rico. The Africans are the least ranked in Group A, but team captain Abdul Yahaya is optimistic of winning and progressing to the World Cup. Meanwhile, Sports Minister Solomon Dalung has joined stakeholders in paying tributes to the immediate past president of the Handball Federation of Nigeria, Yusuf Dauda, who was buried on Thursday in Mina, the Niger State capital.
I know my father will be remembered for his good deeds.
He has given a lot to sports in Nigeria when it comes to football, handball.
The late sports administrator was at the time a member of the Confederation of African Handball Commission and passed on aged 61. With Sports Update, Amanzi Marcus, NTA News.
Now, a quick check on the weather forecast for Saturday.
Thank you for staying tuned. With the southward retreat of the ITD, we don't expect much weather activities across the country compared to what was experienced yesterday. Saturday morning is expected to be calm over the north, in partly cloudy with sunshine interval. However, places around Abuja, Kaduna, Mina, and Ilorin axis are likely to experience isolated cases of thunderstorms, leaving the southern part of the country in cloudy conditions. Afternoon holds more prospect of scattered cases of thunderstorms over Abuja, Jos, Kaduna, Lafia, Lokoja, as well as the southern part of the country. We advise farmers to hold on with farming activities over this period. Next is the temperature forecast. I am Akabi Samara.